Good evening, everybody, and welcome to day 21, I think, of our travels through March Madness. My name's Laura Serrant, and I am an inclusive practice specialist and a leadership development coach. Well, today in our travels, we are on the letter T, and the letter T stands for tame. Now, tame might seem a very strange word to choose when my focus is on leadership, on development, and certainly on self-agency. We've spent most of this month talking about how we need to focus, push forward, and actually take charge of ourselves as business owners, as leaders, and also as human beings. And the word tame is absolutely key to this. The definition of tame is often thought about as the opposite of wildness, relating to the animal world. But as I think about the word tame, I think about the other definition of it, where it focuses on the effects of being tame, or how tameness shows up in people as well as in animals. And tame means to bring under control, to harness, and I suppose to lose some of the uniqueness of that individual or that animal when all's said and done. Tameness happens every day. It's where we start as enthusiastic, talented, ambitious human beings, and sometimes through the effects of fear of failure, of maybe the responses of other people, we start to shrink and not be quite so loud, quite so fabulous, and quite so much of ourselves. We start to play tame. And the really sad thing about playing tame is that we often do it because we think it will make life easier. We think if we shrink to fit the patterns and the expectations of other people, life will be calmer, that we perhaps won't get into trouble, or sometimes we won't stand out. But the truth is that as we play tame, we become less of ourselves, less confident of our own ability, and we actually start to doubt ourselves. We actually even start to doubt who we are and what we know. And we introduce into ourselves the idea of the imposter. We feel as if we are imposters in our own lives. Our desire to succeed is still there. Our desire to be the best we can be is still there. And no matter how much we try to reason with ourselves that nothing has changed, the fact that we act and behave much more tame actually demonstrates how much has changed about us. The reality is that playing small, playing tame, renders us much more silent than we were before. We might find ourselves in meetings where we disagree with something, or even talking with our friends and family where we absolutely don't agree with what's happening, but we feel unable to speak. We feel afraid of standing out. We shrink to fit. We try to blend. And the problem is, the more that we try to blend, the more we are aware of how much we are standing out. Standing out not from the crowd, but standing out as not being ourselves. One of the things I have learned in my 40 years is that our desire, our wish, our thoughts, our hopes, our fears, and our love is infinite. But when we play tame, we create cages around our very selves. And in those cages, the walls come in and we become less. less than we were, and less than we could possibly ever be. A lion and a lioness is the absolute antithesis, the opposite of tame. They are wild, they are free, and they are admired for their strength. But a tame lion, caged in a zoo or caged against its will, still has that strength, still has that ability, and still has that focus. But unfortunately, it is less than the whole lion it could be. And all we see is a glimpse of the true lioness. So my final point for you today is don't play tame. Tameness is the one thing that will stop you being all that you could be. And if you're not all you could be, you cannot give all you can give. And also you cannot receive as much as is really down for you to receive. The only thing that can tame us is fear. Fear of living the very lives we were destined to have. Stop playing tame. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your friends, your family, and the reason that you are here today. I'll see you tomorrow.